All right, we are back, everybody. Welcome back to Portugal. We're in Portugal, and we're trying to finish this match that was started yesterday. Unfortunately, we waited around for a long time before they decided to cancel it and then replace it with qualies that ended up not happening anyway because the rain came back. So, yeah, so that's what happened yesterday. We're here now. The sun is out. It was raining like 30 minutes ago, but the sun's come out. We should be okay, but it's going to be one of those weeks, I think, at this tournament. It's just going to be on and off rain because it's like the tournament is like on the coast of Portugal, like where the location. So the rain's going to be on and off all week. It's not like it's the middle of summer, so it's going to be a bit of a pain. But hopefully we can get through this match, finish this one. We've got Alcaraz coming up later. We're going to go Barcelona after this, so fingers crossed that plays out. Also, Tsitsipas over in Barcelona just won his match against Opelka in straight sets. Feast is winning against Krinya Buster in Barcelona. We've also got Mensik down a set in Munich. So that's interesting. But we'll keep an eye on all those things as well. But how are we doing, chat? What's going on? How are we after yesterday? Yesterday was such a big day. I didn't realize that we were hanging around for like 4 hours. It didn't feel like that at all. It felt like we were sitting around and we were coming back, but then they weren't, and then it didn't feel like that long. Yeah, Mensik got the first set tiebreak, yeah. Are we watching Andreeva? That's not happening today. It's happening tomorrow. At least that's what the schedule told me. Unless the schedule changed. Because sometimes it changes randomly. Andreeva's not happening. Ostapenko's about to play, though. So that's cool. And so is Paolini later today. And Navarro as well. Yeah, the Andreeva sisters play tomorrow. I thought they'd play today too, but yeah. Did you guys hear that Raducanu lost a major sponsor? Really? That's not good. Vodafone. Why? Is Vodafone out of business? Did you like the new celebration by Shelton? I briefly saw it. I have to look at it. I have to watch it again. I just love that Shelton won. I just love that he won. I want Eala to win this in 3 sets so I can see her play more? Okay. How's my day been? Good. After stream, I moved my house around, and then today I just basically moved my house around. There's so many things I need to throw out, though. There's just so much rubbish. But it looks cool. The weather is sunny right now, but it's going to be one of those days where it could rain. It could rain again. Swiatek gets a terrible draw in Stuttgart. Yeah, I mean, everyone has a tough draw in Stuttgart. Stuttgart's a tough tournament. It's a small, jam-packed, high-quality event. Matches start in 5-10 minutes. They're just setting the court up so that the players can come out and play. Also, very windy, I think, as well. It was very windy yesterday. Cam enjoyed the rain delay, just casually chatting and sorting cards. Yeah, it's pretty chill. Appreciate you being patient all those hours yesterday. It's fine. Like I said, I had nothing else to do, so there was no other matches to watch. So we're just it's fine. No problem. I find it odd that Raducanu would rather play Billie Jean King Cup than defend her points at Stuttgart. Yeah, but that's because she probably wanted to represent her country and try and help them make it into the final stage of the Billie Jean King Cup. But also, I don't know exactly what the rule is, but there's a rule that you have to play a certain amount of Billie Jean King Cup matches to qualify for the Olympics. So I don't know if maybe that's what she was trying to do as well, is maybe try and not only just get some form as well, because hardcore tennis is over, right? So just get a couple extra matches under her belt. But I think there's a requirement to play a certain amount of Billie Jean King Cup matches over the span of the 4 years between Olympics that you have to play to then qualify for the Olympics. So I think that would have something to do with it, maybe, if there's a rule, if that rule still exists. But yeah, you know, she'd rather fall out of the top 10. Real shame for her. To be honest, I don't think she's too bothered. Otherwise, if she was really that bothered by it, she would have played Stuttgart. If she was really worried about dropping out of the top 10 and all that stuff. So I don't think she really... Like, I think we should all look at it like this, right? She played Billie Jean King Cup just like any player would go back and play qualies or play a challenger. Like, that's what it kind of felt like. It's not like they were bad, she played bad opponents, but it's like she went back to Billie Jean King Cup where it was a little bit less stress, less pressure, you know, rather than going into Stuttgart, try to find form in Stuttgart, right? And she loses the first round. It's like, well, what's that going to do for you? So I think maybe that's what she wanted to do maybe as well. She wanted to maybe go play Billie Jean King Cup to get a couple of matches under her belt, hang out with her, you know, with Put and Saver and the team, and just kind of get some confidence back, maybe from not exactly, you know, she's not having the greatest season. So yeah, so I think that's what. Again, one of those reasons probably had something to do with it. To be honest, I don't mind that Raducanu went to Brisbane and played that instead of Stuttgart. I mean, there's a lot of players not playing Stuttgart. You know, Keys is not playing Stuttgart. Zhang's not playing Stuttgart. Who else pulled out of Stuttgart? Somebody else did in the top 10. Badosa. So I don't think she's too bothered. I think for her, it's more playing Madrid and Rome. Being healthy for those events is more important for her. And I don't mind that she fell out of the top 10. I don't think it matters that much. Medvedev fell out of the top 10 for like a week and then he came back. So it's pretty close. That top 10 is pretty close. So she just has to play well in Madrid or Rome and she'll be back in the top 10 anyway. Doesn't have many points to defend Raducanu in the next couple of weeks. Sad that Raducanu won't be able to play Stuttgart. She has a decent record there. Yeah, but, you know, she'll play Madrid and Rome, which are worth more points anyway. What time's it going to start? Well, the ball kids are coming out on court. The Lions people are out on court. The clouds have covered the sun, but the sun's been poking through every now and again. Oh, the sun's coming out now. Perfect. Players are about to hit the court. So we're getting this started. Top 8 is the aim, not top 10. Well, yeah, top 8, so you don't have to play the top players until the quarterfinals. You're right. Cam, why is it that Alcaraz struggles on fast, hard courts, but has won Wimbledon twice, which is even faster? I don't know. It's boggles my mind. But then again, he maybe is... I mean, if you're referring to the Australian Open, that he struggles there, everyone comes in fresh, everyone starts the year off, you know, on zero. Maybe that's a reason why, you know, everyone's really hungry. But also, if you want to talk about why doesn't he win Paris or the ATP finals, it's a long season. Maybe by the end of the year, he's a little tired. Maybe he's a little sore, you know. He did win Rotterdam, though, and that's an indoor fast court. So, but apparently they slowed that down. So again, we got to, look, if he wins Cincinnati this year, I think we can kind of throw out the fact that he struggles on fast hard courts, or at least he can't win on fast hard courts if he can win Cincinnati. But we'll see. I mean, look, Rafa struggled on fast hard courts too, right? You know, we don't. We kind of just say, well, that happened. It is what it is. I think Alcaraz probably has a better chance to get better on fast hard courts because of that Wimbledon. You know, he's good at Wimbledon. Can Eala defend Miami points? Look, let's pop the brakes. She just won. She just did that Miami thing. Let's wait. That's impossible to answer. For all we know, next Miami should be top 10, right? And then we'll go, oh yeah, she can defend the points because she's top 10 now. But like 2 weeks ago, she made the semis. Let's just, we don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? Can she defend the points? I don't know. We haven't seen her play one match since. Let's just wait and see. Like, give me 6 months before we answer that question. That's an impossible question. I can't base that off anything. Eala's live ranking is 70 in the world. Yeah. If she wins this title, she'll be number 60, apparently. Yeah, it's a whole year away. That's a long time. I asked this yesterday, but you missed it. Did you remove videos of you practicing? No, they should be on the second channel. They're on the second channel. The practice videos, they're on the second channel. How long for the game to start? Well, they've just set up all the lines people and the ball kids and the umpires on the court, so the players should be coming out on court any second. And then there's a 5-minute warm-up. So within the next 5 minutes. Here we go. Players are on court right now. Perfect timing. I agree, Cam. It's still too early. She is a newbie. Yeah, well, we haven't seen her play since the Miami, and it's very hard to. That's a very. We shouldn't be focusing on whether she should defend those points. We should be focusing more on, like, can she win this tournament? Can she do well in the French Open? You know, like that. Like, those are the questions we should be focusing on. You know, rather than talking about next year. Next year's a long way away. By the way, chat, yesterday, Zverev and Rune both won their matches, so they're off to a start. Also, Rude's about to play right now. What else is happening today? There's a lot of matches today. Alcaraz, obviously, we're watching him later. Rublev also won yesterday. So Rublev got off to a start. We've also got... who else is playing? OJ Aliassime is playing today. Ostapenko's playing... Well, it's about to start now. Over in Stuttgart. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on today. But Alcaraz is the big one. Alcaraz comes on about like 3.5 hours. And that is the plan. Tsitsipas out of the top 10 was a highlight of my week. Well, that's a bit weird to say. She should focus on her game. Yeah. Give another 2 or 3 years and Eala fully developed and stay in top 20 consistently and 1,000 slam events. Yeah. Well, look. If she plays like she did in Miami, she will be a successful player. Maybe top 20, maybe top 10. But if she plays like that consistently, that is a dangerous game to play against for other players, right? She's got a dangerous game. You know, she didn't accidentally beat Keys and Ostapenko and Swiatek back-to-back. That was not an accident, right? Against Penko, it was very close. You know, could have gone either way. Against Keys, yeah, Keys hit a lot of errors, but Eala definitely surprised with the returns. I think Keys wasn't ready for that. And Swiatek definitely wasn't ready. She underestimated Eala big time. And then Eala almost beats Pegula as well. And Pegula had seen what Eala was doing. So almost beating Pegula was possibly her best. I know everyone's going to say Swiatek was her best win, but the Pegula match might have been her best performance because Pegula knew what was coming, right? There was no element of surprise when Pegula was there. She was like, well, I've seen you beat Keys, I've seen you beat Swiatek, I've seen you beat Ostapenko. I can now watch your footage and I can see what you're good at and I can try and figure out a game plan. Swiatek would have just been like, Keys played bad, you know, and maybe Iga wasn't ready and the coaches weren't prepared, right? So players are going to figure out how to play her, right? But she still does have that element of surprise because of the way she hits the ball. When she goes down the line, you know, when she hits the ball, you know, you think she's going to go cross-court, she goes down the line. She has that surprise and that kind of unpredictable game, which is scary, you know, that she can hit any way that she wants. Now, obviously, the serve is something that she struggled with, and she has struggled with today, this week, this tournament as well, or this match. If she gets her serve working better, though, I mean, she's got the lefty serve. It's already, you know, that's already an advantage. If she gets a little bit better serving or more consistent serving, that's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough player to play. Alex's best game was against Pegula. She could have won the first set. Oh, yeah. She could have won that whole match. Yeah, I would say Eala's best, or the most impressive she was, for me, was probably the Pegula match. I mean, the Swiatek match obviously was massively impressive too, but we all know that Swiatek, because we watch every match of hers, we all know Iga is not, or has not been playing. She's been having those strange losses, right? Like she's getting, she's trying to figure out how to improve her game, and she's having those kind of awkward losses. The Keys match, Keys was bound to was eventually going to have a loss like that anyway, right? She was near unstoppable for so long, Keys this year, and then as soon as Keys' game is a little bit off, and if you've got a decent return, you might be able to get her, right? And the Penko match, we all know Penko can be on and off during matches, but the Pegula match, was playing really well, and Eala was matching her. So I think that was, and look, Pegula's number 3 in the world. I mean, Pegula just won Charleston, right? So arguably, Pegula is maybe the second best player of the season, maybe third, but probably second. If you put Sabalenka number 1, Pegula could be 2, and Eala almost beat her. So again, very impressive. If Badosa didn't give her the walkover, she would have beaten Eala. You think Badosa would have beaten Eala? I mean, we'll never know. We'll never know. They should have moved this inside instead. They don't have indoors. There's no indoors here. It's all outside. They're just warming up their serves, and then we'll kickstart this match again. And we will play, hopefully, without any interruptions. Hopefully, uninterrupted play. Eala had a set point against Pegula in the first set, and then Eala won the second. Yeah, she definitely could have won. For sure could have won that match. But the thing is, chat, it's not about just having a really good week. It's not about having a good, a couple of weeks. You gotta be consistent, right? You gotta play like that throughout the whole season, right? I mean, there's a lot of players that we see play really well for one tournament because they're on a hot streak, and they just get to the semis, or they play and they kick ass and they beat a bunch of players, and then they disappear, right? And they don't play. They don't reach that again. There's a lot of players that have that, right? Hopefully, but the better players. And I like how Eala's gone to this tournament instead of playing in Stuttgart, where she probably would have got a wild card if she wanted because of her Miami run. She's still like, okay, well, I'm not going to... I probably could cash in on the Miami semifinals and play a big tournament again, but she's like, no, I'm going to play this event. And I'm going to figure out, I'm going to play against some lower ranked players and hopefully get some matches and get some wins to get ready for the clay, because clay is not her most... In her career, if you look at her results, clay is her least successful surface. Obviously, grass is on its own, but out of the hard courts and the clay, she's much better on hard courts here at this moment. All right, here we go, chat. It's going to be Koevermans to serve. You joined us yesterday. Koevermans was up 3-1. Eala broke back. There was a rain delay. They came back. Koevermans broke. And now Eala's up love 30 to get the break back. So all the momentum, or the little momentum that Koevermans got from that slight momentum change at the middle of the set, she ended up giving it back. Or sorry, it got shut out because of the rain. But who you got, chat? Let me know in the chat who you got winning this one. I've got Eala coming back to win. That is my prediction. I think she'll win this set. All right. Yeah, Eala's love 30. I don't know why it hasn't updated. Eala's love 30. By the way, when there's a rain delay and stuff like this, sometimes she's up love 40 now. Sometimes the scoreboards get a little funky. Also, the WTA's graphics are also funky, so they're all over the place too. Love 40. As we serve now from Koevermans. It's a let. The score will update. It's just going to be a little bit of a sloppy stream. Because the rain delays. But don't worry, I'll tell you the scores. It's love 40. And then a second serve ace. All right. 15-40. The scoreboard will update once the WTA figure out, I guess, what they're doing. Because WTA, I'm looking at the stream, and the WTA don't even have the scoreboard up. Return goes into the forehand of Koevermans. Down the line into the forehand of Eala on the stretch. Koevermans forehand down the line. Eala gets with the backhand. It's Koevermans forehand again, the forehand of Eala. Into the forehand of Koevermans. Cross to the backhand of Eala. As Koevermans backhand, the forehand of Eala. Forehand from Koevermans on the stretch. Eala backhand. In the forehand of Koevermans, who hits it wide. We're back on serve. It's 4-3. 4-3. Koevermans. But Eala gets the break back. Now let me see if I can find something temporarily to fix the score. All right. We're back on serve. 4-3. By the time I fix this, it will be working, I'm sure. I'm sure I'll be working once I fix this. Good break back, yep. Eala well rested, and the coaches might have found a way to adjust the game plan. Yeah, for sure. What's the next WTA major event? The WTA next major WTA event is well, it's happening right now. It's in Stuttgart, but Madrid next week is going to be a major event, and that's where Eala is going to play in that one. Why is it not starting? No, they've restarted. It's 4-3. As Eala serves into the forehand of Koevermans, backhand from Eala into the backhand of Koevermans. And eventually Eala wins the point. 15-love. Again, apologies for the scoreboard. It's just a little bit scuffed at the moment. Because oh, there you go. Nope, didn't work. Because of the rain delays, it scuffs up the things happen. Anyways, that goes out by Koevermans. 30-love. Scoreboard is wonky. Yeah, I know. Even the WTA score isn't working, so it's all it's just all scuffed at the moment. It is what it is. All right, 30-love. WTA's kicked back off, though. That's good to see. All right, 40-love. Yeah, they're continuing. They're playing right now. 40-love. Chance for Eala to get back on serve. She serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. There we go. Fourth. There we go. Scoreboard's moving now. There we go. The score's working now. Told you to just take a second. 40-love is Eala double faults. And it's 40-15. 40-15. Serve again. Eala to level up this set. As we return into the forehand of Eala. Forehand now from Koevermans. The backhand of Eala as Koevermans backhand down the line. Eala backhand cross. As Koevermans shanks it, and it's 4-4. Eala gets the break back. By the way, chat, yesterday was one of our longest streams. Today could be one of the shortest. All right. 4-all. By the way, thank you, Dutchy. Apparently, Potapova has withdrawn, which is a shame because Towson, I'm going to guess, had match points in the first round against Potapova, and Potapova came back to win. Sabalenka's into the quarterfinals without having to play a match. So, Sabalenka is into the quarterfinals. Potapova withdraws. All right, 4-all. Koevermans serves. Koevermans with the serve. There's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes out by Koevermans. Love 15. Love 15. As Koevermans serves again. As forehand now from Eala. Up goes a lob by Koevermans. But it's out. Love 30. Love 30. Again, don't forget to sub if you haven't already. We're watching Alcaraz later. It'll be 10 p.m. Philippines time, so make sure you join us for that if you want. Or if you want to watch Eala, she'll probably play tomorrow. Love 30. As a serve now the back of Eala. Return goes to forehand of Koevermans. Down the line of the front of Eala on the stretch. Koevermans backhand in the net. Love 40. Eala about to take this. Break and serve for the match. Which has been going for about 8 minutes. All right, love 40. Love 40 as we'd return in the net. That's Eala break. 5-4. Koevermans gives the break, and Eala is going to serve for the match. All right. Told you, chat. This is what we could have got yesterday. Things could have gone real quick yesterday if they'd just given us another 10 minutes of sunshine. They could have played this match yesterday, chat. They should have played this match yesterday. They made us wait for 4 hours before they cancelled it. All right, Eala's going to serve for the match and play the second round. Now, she'll play tomorrow. Now, the weather is going to be crappy all week, but she'll be playing tomorrow, so make sure you join us for that. All right, Eala's going to serve for this match. Alex is to get second set and win the match. Yep. The rain is with us. It was yesterday. Yeah, we'll watch Eala tomorrow as well. Maybe they adjusted so hard while waiting for the rain to subside. Yeah. I guess they were thinking that maybe Eala wouldn't come back to win this. Maybe that's why they didn't want to bring this match on yesterday. But here it is. Eala serving for the match. As it a forehand from Eala, cross court, the backhand of Koevermans. Eala forehand again to the forehand of Koevermans. Into the backhand of Eala. As Koevermans forehand on the stretch. As she goes down the line now to the forehand of Eala. But the ball goes long from Eala, and it's love 15. Love 15. Is Eala tomorrow double match? I think so, yeah. I don't think she's playing doubles today. Love 15. And I'm guessing she plays tomorrow. I don't know 100% if she will, but I'm pretty sure she will. Because they don't have that much time to get these matches done with the weather. All right, 15-all. Good serve from Eala. 15-all. Or maybe she won't play tomorrow. because she doesn't even have... Oh, no, there's players that have to play twice today, I think. I think there's some players that have to play twice today because of the qualies. She might play tomorrow. If she plays tomorrow, we'll watch. Don't worry. If she doesn't play, we won't. We'll watch her the day after. Anyways, forehand goes down the line from Koevermans. Eala on the stretch. To the back end of Koevermans. Good shot down the line. Eala's got it though. Into the forehand of Koevermans. Eala forehand. Inside out. It's a winner. 30-15.
Unbelievable.
30-15. 2 points away from her first victory since the Miami run. 30-15. There's 36 matches in Portugal today, yeah. All right, 30-15. And Eala serves again. Into the back end of Koevermans. Return the net. Match points for Eala to take the win after a long delay between games. She's come back. She's barely lost a point. She was down 4-2. But since then, she's been untouchable today. She's just running through this like she's got somewhere else to be. She serves. Into the forehand of Koevermans. Return. Into the forehand of Eala. Eala in the net. 40-30. 40-30. Eala serves again. Match point number 2. $40-30. She serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve, the forehand of Koevermans. Return goes back into Eala. Koevermans forehand on the stretch. Eala backhand. Down the line goes long. All right, we get the deuce. Eala overhits the backhand. 2 match points saved. All right, we get the deuce. Eala serves again. As the return goes in the backhand of Eala, into the forehand of Koevermans. Eala with a backhand. Cross court as a winner. Match point number 3 to Eala. Like I said, in 3 hours' time, we'll be watching Carlos Alcaraz, so get ready for that. We'll be watching Carlos, the King of Monte Carlo, play Barcelona. He was a 2-time champion before last year, and then he had to withdraw. All right, advantage Eala. She serves. Into the backhand of Koevermans. Return goes to the forehand of Eala. Koevermans backhand. Into the forehand of Eala. It's Koevermans backhand again. Into the backhand of Eala. To the forehand of Koevermans. And that goes wide. Eala wins. She comes back from 4-2 down in the second after a long rain delay and just smokes it. I mean, that was too easy. Too easy in the end. Holds twice, breaks twice. She's into the second round. Like I said, I don't know if she's playing tomorrow. If she is, we'll watch her. If she's not, we won't. But she is into the second round of this event. GG's. Good win by against a player that can play on clay. Koevermans. It was Koevermans' highest ranked opponent in her career, but it was also a good test for Eala because it was somebody who knows how to play on clay. So that was a good win to get a straight sets win over somebody who is a clay court player. All right. There you go. If you are leaving, by the way, don't forget to sub on the way out. Also, chat, let me know where you're watching from because I know we've got a lot of new people here. We love talking to the new people. My job now is to try and keep you around to watch Alcaraz in 2 hours. So make sure you stick around. If you're from the Philippines and you want to watch more good tennis, stick around because we've got Alcaraz coming up later. You might be in it, you might come in for Eala, but you stay for Alcaraz, all right? But trust me, it's never boring. Alcaraz is never a boring player. All right, we've got people from, obviously, the Philippines in the house. What's up? Malta, Belfast. We've got Birmingham, Poland. We've got Brisbane in the house. Manila. We've got Malaysia. We've got Korea in the house. Maryland, Auckland. Yeah, we're going to be watching Alcaraz in a few hours. We've got Canada. We've got Wales. Kansas City, UK. Andreeva's not playing today. She's playing tomorrow. Singapore, South Africa, UK. We've got Rome, Poland, Philippines. A lot of people from the Philippines. Love to see it. Hong Kong as well. Ireland, Vietnam, Sydney, Canada. We've got Berlin in the house. Where else are we watching from? Just subscribe. Appreciate it. Carlos is huge in the Philippines. Well, yeah, stick around. We're going to be watching that man in a couple of hours. And we love watching Alcaraz. We don't get bored watching him. He is him. And he's playing against Ethan Quinn, who is a young American that we haven't ever watched before. I think we might have watched him once, but could be interesting. Some of the WTA doesn't want to drive that Porsche. We got a lot of people from the Philippines. Love it, love it, love it. We got the UK as well. California, Denmark, New Zealand, Malaysia, Australia. Love it, love it. Visited Manila, nice. So now, if I have a look at the draw, so now Eala will take on. She'll take on, and we don't know yet because unfortunately the qualifiers still haven't finished for this tournament. Qualifiers are supposed to finish 2 days ago, so we don't know. We know that she could play Udvardi, but she doesn't. We don't know if she's going to play like who the qualifier is. So we've got to wait for the qualifiers to finish, which are happening right now. And then they will get placed in the draw. Udvardi will play a qualifier, I think, today. And then the winner of that will play against Eala. But I don't think that's going to happen today. Because the way that tennis goes, and if you're new to tennis, this is in these kind of situations. So when it's a draw like this, first round usually goes on a Monday and a Tuesday. Second round is usually on a Wednesday, Thursday. And then on Friday is quarterfinals, semifinals on Saturday, and the final on Sunday. So I'm going to guess that Eala won't play tomorrow. Plus, she's also playing doubles, so maybe she'll do that instead. She'll probably be back on Thursday. And then she'll play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday if she keeps winning. So that would be my guess, especially because we don't know who's actually in the draw yet. So I would guess that they finish the qualies today. Tomorrow, the qualifier versus Udvardi. Winner of that plays Eala on Thursday. I'm guessing. That's my best guess. Otherwise, they might play tomorrow. But I think they'll probably play. Eala will probably have tomorrow off. And she'll play doubles, and then she'll play. Yeah, she's playing volley nets with volley nets in the doubles. And then she'll probably play her second round in a couple of days. Because we don't know who she's going to play. She hasn't got an opponent yet. She's playing doubles with Volley Nets, who is the second seed here. So, and someone who she beat in Miami. She beat Volley Nets in the first round of Miami. So it's very strange that she's teaming up with a player that she beat and also the second hardest player in this draw. Hey, Nits, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Keep doing the good job. Enjoyed the show. Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, we're going to keep going. She's playing doubles with Volley Nets. Yeah, we don't know who the next opponent is. I've just explained it for the last 20 minutes. I've just explained for the last 30 minutes who she might play. We don't know. The qualifiers are still going on, so we're waiting for that to finish, and then, yeah. quick stream. I know yesterday was the longest stream, and this has been the shortest stream, so it's been fun. Bye. Rude is playing at the moment. Also, Demonor's about to play. Cool. Quinn's pretty good. Young American, scary. Yeah, but on clay, I guess maybe not as scary as you'd expect. Why not watch Penko Yastremska? Because we watched this instead. Also, Penko's up 4-3. Thank you for educating lots of guys regarding tennis. That's my job. Hopefully, if you learn one thing from these streams, then I'm doing my job. Great, she plays doubles. Yeah, she's going to improve or get more clay court tennis under her belt, because that's the reason she's playing here, right? To get those clay court wins and clay court matches under her belt, so she can win the big ones. Panko and Yastrzemski are playing doubles together. Are they really? They're playing first round of Stuttgart, and then they'll play doubles together. That's funny. Yeah, from 2-4 to 6-4. Yep. It's a good fight back. Need to go. Have to go to work tomorrow. No worries. We'll see you later. Yep, she already won. The scoreboard has revealed that she has already won. She has already won. She won pretty easily in the end. People in the chat, if you don't know, now you can watch all these on the WTA. Yeah, you can watch these tournaments on the WTA website, apparently. You can watch it on WTA TV as well. If you want to watch Madrid in a week or Stuttgart now or whatever. Oh, they played doubles yesterday, did they? Okay. Do you think Sinner will come back winning? I hope so. Hopefully next time you show the actual live. Can't do it. We can't show the actual match. Otherwise, we will get banned. I can't even show you a highlight clip because we'll get in trouble. So I can't show any footage. But I can tell you with my words, and hopefully if you close your eyes, you can picture what's going on. But yeah, you can't even... tennis is very strict with all that stuff. I mean, I couldn't even go to the match and do any, show anything, even if I was there live, you know? How do the people decide the doubles pairings? I think they either sign up together or they sign up and then they get assigned a player randomly. Possibly. It depends on, if you want to play doubles, they might go, oh, this person also wants to play doubles. They got no partner. You can play with them. I watched the WTA live and I still listen to your commentary. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for the info. No worries. Eala won 2 Grand Slam doubles titles, France and Australia juniors. She won the US Open junior title too. Yeah, she did. Demon looking to make a fast start here. Yeah. God, I love clay court Demon. Love clay court Demon. What's that cow mooing in the background? Oh, it's my dog. I'm new. Hey, what's going on? Welcome. So yeah, Demon's already broken first game. Mensik also won the second set, so there you go. Demon is looking good in the emerald green. Nice. Yeah, Demon was so unlucky last week. So unlucky. Thanks, Cam, watching from the Philippines. I've been a long-time follower because of Rafa. Hey, appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. Even though Rafa retired. Layla and Alex could be good doubles partners. Maybe. Insane from a form by Eala. She's said to be bad on clay, but she's kind of like Nishikori. here with early hits. Just needs to be more patient in the rallies. Yeah, look, we talked about this yesterday at length, right? This is the great tournament for Eala to play because there's no pressure, right? She's, there's pressure to win because she's the favorite. She's number one in the seeds, right? But also, I don't think it matters if she loses because it's a clay court. She realizes that it's probably not her favorite court. It's not her best surface, so she's going to try and, she's here to get better on clay. So yeah, it's cool that she's, she could have gone to, like I said, she could have gone and play Stuttgart and maybe got a wild card and tried to play that, and it would have been a lot of pressure and a lot of people would have been focusing on that. She could have lost in the first round, but this getting matches here is a smart option. Isn't the women's final scheduled on Saturday? I would guess they'd move it to Sunday. Even if it was on Saturday, they'd probably move it. She could also double up with Mirra, maybe. How many max points can the tournament champion win? So 125 points. She doesn't have a visa to get into Stuttgart. Wait, what? Is that a thing, or are you just kidding? Ruud is the defending champion of Barcelona. Is anyone else worried that he's going to lose? Not maybe not today, but just in general. She has visa problems because our passport is weak. Okay. She struggles to get visas because she has a Filipino passport. Is that real? That sucks. You send me the article? Okay. That sucks. It's real? I wonder if those gonna reach top. Who's gonna reach top 10 first? Noskova or Eala? Yeah, good question. I think she's part Spanish, so she might convert. Nah, she wouldn't change to. You'd hope that she wouldn't leave, not represent the Philippines, because she can't get visas. But then players sometimes do that. Sometimes they do. But hopefully she doesn't, and hopefully it just gets maybe better for her to. Hopefully makes it better for her so she can actually get to the places that she needs to. Oh wow, okay. So she can only go to 65 countries, making a global nature of tennis challenge. Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, okay. So yeah, she can barely go. She can't really get anywhere. Though she's based in Rafa Nadal's namesake academy, she needs advanced visa of traveling to the Grand Slams, as well as Asian swing hub in China. Damn. That sucks. That's something that we don't ever think about either, chat, right? I mean, we just assume that, players just rock up the tournaments and play. But, a lot of players have to go through this kind of thing, right? A lot of players have to go through the visa process, but, I mean, it must be harder for some than others, right? Technically, she can get Spanish citizenship, being Filipino and representing still in the Philippines. Okay. Well, that's good. Visa issue is in general. I think she can enter Germany since she studies in Spain. Okay. Why is there a cow next to you? Because that's just the noise. Cow's trying to kiss you? Nah, it's just mooing in my face. Just making noise. Yeah, Sabalenka's into the quarterfinals. Thank you, Hadar. Yeah, Sabalenka's into the quarterfinals without having to play a match. Maybe she will get that Porsche this week. Maybe the Porsche is hers. Maybe this week is it, chat. Potapova, yeah, withdraws. It's a shame because Towson, I thought Towson was going to beat Potapova to play Sabalenka. Towson-Sabalenka would have been a great match, but Potapova fights back to win and then has to withdraw. That's a shame. She can apply for dual citizenship. True. You wonder if she gets you wonder if she does try and get dual citizenship in Spain to at least then apply to play tournaments in as a Spanish player, but she represents the Philippines still. I wonder if that's allowed. Mensik is seemingly down love 3 in the third. Really? Oof. That's rough. That's a rough one. Yeah, Mensik is down. Yeah, 2 love down a break in the third. That's tough. Yeah, Potapova had to withdraw. I'm confused right now since I saw Radwanska playing, but that's her cousin. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, she has like a relative who plays. Not Aga. Aga's not playing anymore. The Philippine visa is the mid to lower tier. That sucks. It's her sister, sorry. It's her sister, is it? Okay, there you go. It's her sister. But can she have dual citizenship? But still play for the Philippines? She wouldn't have to, give up her Filipino passport or Filipino anything, right? She'd be able to play for the Philippines, but use a Spanish passport, maybe? I guess. Maybe that's something that they might work on if it's hard for her to get to tournaments. Then again, she's lucky too, because she has got the Rafael Nadal Academy that can help her, right? Help her in every way. And get her, call ahead, do the visas, get the visas, do all the stuff. And she won't have to worry about a lot of that stuff, hopefully. It's just they've just got to make sure they get, they're probably just going to have to apply for a lot of visas every week. I didn't know this visa thing could be a problem. Yeah, well, it's apparently one of the, let me have a look. What's the best passport to have? So there's a ranking apparently called the Henley Passport Index. Apparently having a Singapore passport is the best. Singapore, Japan, South Korea, Denmark, Finland. Apparently those are the best passports. Australia is ranked lower. And Philippines is ranked really low. Wow. God, why is it really? You got so many people that live in the Philippines, you would have thought, I wouldn't have thought it'd be, Philippines passport is you get less, you get into less places than somewhere like Kazakhstan or even Indonesia. Where is the Philippines passport? Am I blind? Where is it? You only get into 65 destinations with it. For free. Visa-free destinations. Australia's got 186. America's got 183. Wait, Australia's pretty good. Is Australia what the hell? Oh, you can get to 193 places with Singapore passport. So Australia can get you almost everywhere. Now, chat. We've been accepting players from other countries recently. So, if she wants to play, live in Australia, Philippines not that far away from Australia. We're right here. If she wants an Australian passport, we're over here. We're accepting new players. Come on. We'll happily adopt her to help out with the passport. Eala and Kazakhina. Can we imagine? No, okay, let's not get silly. Many people travel to Australia for that reason. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know it was that. Didn't realize. No. We're not taking her away. We're just going to help out with the visa. So then, yeah. Mensik always plays bad when I need him. When I need him not to. Okay. Yeah. Well, Mensik is now down 3-1 in the final set over there. She could join Dasher. Yeah. You've already got Kazakhina. I know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I didn't realize how hard it was for people in the Philippines to get to go anywhere. So I'm looking here. So, yeah, the Philippines. You can go to Brazil. You can get into Cambodia. You can get into Colombia. You can get into. You can't get into most of the European countries, which is kind of wild. Like, not for free. You need a visa for it. You can go to Indonesia if you want. You can go to Kazakhstan. You can go to Malaysia. Yeah, so you have to get a visa if you're from Philippines to go to pretty much all the European countries. America, Australia. I mean, that's brutal. Well, what do I need a visa for Australia, though? I can't go to Afghanistan without a visa if I'm Australian. Okay. I have to get a visa to go to Chile? Okay. Visa for Cuba. I have to get a visa for India. Interesting. I'm sure Russia's on the list, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you have to get a visa for Russia. Interesting. Cool, I didn't know this was a thing. Hopefully, though, with the help of the Rafa Nadal Academy, she can. It'll make it a lot easier for her to get into places. You know, she can probably apply for Spanish passport. She lived in Spain for more than 2 years and knows Spanish. Yeah, that could be an option. Again, I'm not sure if she gets. I mean, if she goes to any of the tournaments, and then if she goes to a tournament with the Spanish passport, does she have to represent Spain? That would be my only question. Like, would she be able to use a Spanish passport but represent Philippines? Like, you know, if she goes in with a passport, you know what I'm saying? Like, could she check in as a Spanish citizen or a Spanish passport and then represent Philippines? Like, if she's allowed to do that, then there's your answer, right? That's what she should do. That would be the perfect situation. Alex is the only active women's player in the world as of the moment. Well, from the Philippines? Yeah. Ostapenko just won the first set. Nice. Nice one. Maybe she will be to help countries improve. Oh, she'll help the Philippines passport improve, maybe? I mean, yeah, maybe. That'd be cool. That she could help raise this issue. It is interesting. It does open up an interesting conversation because it's like, well, how many really good players are coming from places that can't easily travel? You know, there must be a lot of players that are restricted from playing the tournaments they need to play to get good at tennis. You know, it kind of makes sense if the Philippines have had this for a while, then it makes sense why there's not that many players coming out of the Philippines, because you think, well, if it's that hard to get out and travel and do the tournaments to get the points to then become a professional, you know, it's going to be even harder, right? I think the passport issue with Eala is just an inconvenience, not a really problem. She can solve it. She just needs proper planning. Yeah. It's not like, you know, like I said, she probably has like people behind the scenes that are helping. Like she has to. The difference, I guess, is she really has to plan what she does, because visas don't just happen overnight. Some do, but not all, Whereas players that can just kind of like rock up to places without having a visa, like for an Australian, if they want to just if they lose this week in the first round and then next week they want to go play in another place, they could just go there, right? Whereas she has to like really plan her schedule and make sure that, she has the visas in place. So when she gets to the countries, she can get in, right? Yeah, 2-week visa. Yeah. So she would have had to apply for Rome, France, Spain, Italy, France, in the next few weeks, and have those approved. Whereas I guess like Australians, if you lose first round of Barcelona, you can just go of Munich, you can just go straight to Spain, right? Like it would be a lot more. You'd have to do a lot more planning. But she'd have people for that. I'm sure she has someone for that. But it's not a big cost, actually. Yeah, the visa cost is a whole thing as well. But I guess it's more just like it's just one extra thing you have to think about. Whereas most players, I guess, most of the Europeans won't have to think about that. They could just travel freely. Most of the Americans and the Australian players don't have to think about, visa situations as much as, someone from the Philippines definitely does. It's a headache, a lot of paperwork and BS. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. This is what is cool. She is opening the door for Filipino tennis. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Hopefully there's enough people in the Philippines. There's a lot of people in the Philippines. So hopefully it does inspire people to play. And we get more Filipino players playing, You need to manage travel, and you don't know if you're gonna fly sometimes. Well, yeah. Alex was not really complaining about the visa situation. She asked about the challenges of a Filipino athlete. Yeah, we're not saying that she complained. We're just I didn't realize that it was not, I wouldn't say as a problem, but it was something else to consider, right? And it's something to consider for all players, right? There's a lot of players that don't have to think about this stuff, but for her to have to think about it and have to add that into the situation, When is Sabalenka playing? She'll be playing on Friday. No, Thursday. Sabalenka Thursday. Wait, no. Sabalenka's going to play on Saturday. Holy shit. So wait, hang on. So Sabalenka gets a buy, basically a buy in the first round, a buy in the second round. So Sabalenka plays Saturday because they don't play Friday because it's Good Friday. So Sabalenka's not playing until Saturday, Sunday, Monday because the Monday final? So Sabalenka gets the week off. That's crazy. Yeah, so Sabalenka's not playing until Saturday. Damn. I don't know if that's a good thing. She's got to wait around all week in Stuttgart and wait until she doesn't play her first match until Saturday. That's crazy. That's a lot. It's a long time to wait to play your first match when everybody else is playing while you're sitting around doing nothing. Well, she'll be training, but that's brutal. Yeah, a lot of time off. That's a long way. I mean, it would be different if you played on Thursday, and then Good Friday doesn't play. But you have to wait until after wait until the weekend. It's crazy. She's playing Wednesday. No, she's not. She's not playing tomorrow. She was supposed to, but her opponent pulled out. Benefits of being the best? I don't think it's a benefit. I don't think it's a benefit at all. That seems like that's not a benefit. If she was number 2 in the world and Potapova pulled out, it would have been the same problem. So it's just coincidental. If it was Gauff or Pegula or Swiatek who had Potapova in the second round, they'd have the same problem. They'd have to wait until Saturday because that's when the quarterfinals are. Yeah, that's a long time to play. And remember, most of the players this week haven't played on clay yet. So that's going to be Sabalenka's first clay court match. Is going to be on Saturday when everybody else is practicing all week. That's kind of brutal. It kind of sucks. Schneider or Mertens may have a chance. Maybe. I mean, both of them are playing doubles too, right? So they're going to have a hell of a lot more tennis under their belt than Sabalenka. No, Potapova withdrew. She just withdrew. She withdrew like an hour ago. Ostapenko serving well. Yeah. Penko is winning. Sabalenka has to find a quick 3-day tournament to play. Yeah, she's gonna have to make up her own little tournament within the week. Ostapenko beating her doubles partner right now. Yeah. Who are we kidding? She gets Potapova. That's like a bye anyway. No. But she no. Okay. Disrespect aside. She was supposed to play Potapova tomorrow, but Potapova just withdrew, which means Sabalenka doesn't have to play tomorrow. Sabalenka plays the quarterfinals, which happens on Saturday. So that's why we're saying Sabalenka doesn't play till Saturday, because she doesn't play till Saturday. Because her opponent is not playing. She's out. Her opponent pulled out. And because it's a second round match, she doesn't get a lucky loser. She just she gets a walkover. I remember how up and down he was last year. Who's that? Ooh, by the way, chat, we have got other matches going on right now. We've got Alcaraz coming up in about a couple of hours, so we're just kind of filling the time until he jumps on, because there's nothing else going. Actually, what's the schedule look like for Barcelona? Tsitsipas won easily, so that helps things. So is Alcaraz going to be on time? That's the question. That's Monte Carlo. That's the wrong tournament. We watched that one already. Spoiler alert, Alcaraz won. Barcelona, what we got? Yes, okay. Ruud versus Gallen, and then after that is Alcaraz. So we've got plenty of time. Unless weather ruins us, we should be on time in about 2.5 hours. Ostapenko wasn't the favorite. That's crazy. That is crazy. But she hasn't been playing great lately, so probably no surprise. Fee saved 2 set points in the first set. Nice. Update on Eala's ranking. I think she's number 70. At least that's what she was at the start of the day. I don't know if it changed that much with the one match win. She's currently ranked number 70. If she wins tomorrow, or in a couple of days, she'll be number 69. And if she wins the tournament, she could go as high as number 60 or 59. So she's going to be in the top 60 if she wins the tournament, possibly. Alex's next game is probably going to be in a couple of days. Because I'll just show the schedule. Hang on. I'll show you the draw. It makes more sense if I show you the draw. Let me show you the draw. So you can see that Eala's into the second round. But you see how there's the Q and the LL? And it hasn't got a name there. So that's a qualifier. So the qualies are still going on today. The qualifiers haven't finished yet. So the winner of the qualifiers today will then get placed in the draw. And a qualifier will take on Udvardy, who is playing tomorrow. Because I don't think Udvardy's playing today. And then Eala will play the winner of that match. So the qualies finished today. Tomorrow, whoever will play, and then the winner of that will play Eala in 2 days. Eala is playing doubles, though. Yeah, she's got to play doubles. So that probably doesn't work out that badly for Eala, I guess. It probably works out well. Yeah. Lucky loser isn't... Yeah, LL is lucky loser. But there would be a qualifier at this point, because Lucky loser is just depends on if there's a withdrawal. If there's a withdrawal, then they will take the spot. You don't get many points in a 125 for a first round. It's usually 1 point. Yeah. You don't get too many points to start this event. But like I said, I don't think this is about boosting her ranking. It's more about her, Eala trying to get games, clay court matches, right? Can Eala win with the tournament and become the champ? Look, there's definitely a chance she could win. She's number 1 seed. She's the highest ranked player in the draw. Yeah, she could win. I can't even tell you who her next opponent's going to be, so I can't tell you whether or not the next opponent's going to be a problem. But obviously, Castella's in the bottom half of the draw. She's tough. Cocciaretto can play on clay. So volley nets, I'm not sure, but there are definitely going to be some hurdles. But you would give Eala a chance to at least make the semis. Based on recent form, she should be able to go pretty far. Sabalenka Pegula joined this tournament. No, they're not here. This is a much smaller, lower. It's a lower level tournament than the one Sabalenka and Pegula are playing. They are playing in Stuttgart, which is a bigger event. Sabalenka and Pegula are not playing here. Menzies is down 5-2 in the third. Yeah, that's brutal. It is clay, though. It is clay. The game ended. Eala won. Yep, she sure did. When time's up to qualify for Roland Garros by ranking, I think that was this week. I think the rankings this week are the yeah. But I'll let you know. I think next week we'll get the entry list, maybe. But yeah, this week was up, you had to be in the top 100 by this week to be involved. So Eala's going to play the French Open, first time ever. Main draw. By the way, Demon's up 5-3, Rude is up 5-4 in their first sets of their match. Yeah, it should be coming out soon. Because 6 weeks to the French Open. So anyone at the top 80 is going to play automatically if they're healthy. Menzies isn't really a clay quarter. Yeah. But he'll learn. I'm sure he'll learn. He'll get better. Now, chat. I'm just having a look. So, seeing if there's any good matches on tomorrow, because we're only watching Alcaraz coming up in a couple of hours. Zverev Altmaier. I mean, that could be fun. I don't really want to watch Munich though. So Andreeva's sisters play tomorrow, so we'll probably watch that. Swiatek will probably play tomorrow against Vekic or Fett. Gauff could also play tomorrow, so there's a couple of names to watch. But I think if Alcaraz wins today, he won't play tomorrow. So we'll watch Alcaraz today and he'll get a day off tomorrow. So Tsitsipas Korda is a second round match. That's fun. Tsitsipas Korda could be good. Rublev Wawrinka could be a second round. We could watch that tomorrow maybe if it happens. So there's a couple of possible matches to watch over the next couple of days. Yeah, this week's tough though because there's a lot of players playing, but they're all spread out. They're not all playing in the same place, so it's a little bit messy this week. Yeah, Runa Baez is interesting. That's a very interesting match for sure. I was asleep, didn't watch the second half of this match. We didn't miss much. Eala won 4 games in a row, and she then took the... she won 4 in a row, and he won the match really easily. Who's going to win between Ruud and Gallen? Well, Ruud just won the first set 6-4, so that's good. Yeah, Ruud just took the first 6-4. Mensik is losing. Yeah, I'm looking at his score at the moment. It's he's 30 all at 5-3 down. So he might break back. By the way, Munich has so many lucky losers. I think they have like 5 lucky losers, which they had to grab. I think O'Connell, they had to grab him from. He lost in the first round of qualies. And they had to go back as far as him to get somebody to play the tournament because they're losing all these players. So that's a rough one for Munich. It's the first time it's a 500 event. Not only did they lose all their, marquee players and their big names. There's a lot of big names didn't play, like pulled out of that tournament last minute. But now they've got like 5 lucky losers that have had to replace the main draw, and it's brutal out. Like Munich is rough. And it got upgraded. And if Mensik loses, which he just did, Zverev is there. You've got Shelton, who survived yesterday. And then you got Shapovalov, Humbert, FAA, and Cerundolo. So it's rough out there. It's Munich is, it was a 250 last year, and it's a rough draw. It sucks for the tournament, It sucks for the tournament because they upgraded to a 500 and unfortunately didn't. And it's not their fault that the players that they brought in got injured, right? Fritz, her catch, right? It wasn't their fault. But man, it's a rough one. And now Mensik goes down. That's a tough one. Sinner comes back in a couple of weeks. He'll be back in like 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. And he'll be back. Back in Rome, yep. 3 weeks from now. Which is really... it's still really weird, right? Weird that he's coming back that quickly. A bit surprised about Mensik, but this is clay. Yeah. I think we shouldn't be surprised about a lot of upsets happening on the clay to start the season. Botic just won as well. There you go. Demonor serving for the first set against Echeverry as well. Finally, yeah, exactly. Ruud's playing amazing. Good. I want him to play well. I need him to play well so that we can bring him into the team and he can start making moves. When was the last time Hurkacz played? Yeah. Maybe Dubai? I can't remember. Did you play in the Middle East? He didn't play Indian... Well, did he play Indian Wells? Yeah, he played Indian Wells. He lost to Demonor. I was going to say, we watched that. He didn't play in the Middle East. The last time he played well was in Rotterdam. But, yeah, he hasn't been great since. Mainly because of injury. He's only played a couple of tournaments this year. Yeah, man, that's... It sucks because he's got he's got the new coaching team. He's got, Masu and Lendl. It was all looking good, but then his body said no. Oh, Yastrzemska just retired against Penko, apparently. Thanks, Dutchie. Clay really brings out a lot of surprises if no one is still used to it. Yeah. I mean, everyone's just trying to get used to it. Everyone's, unless you played in February on clay or you played, straight after Miami. A lot of people. It takes some time. Demon won the first set, by the way. Krejcikova hasn't played. Yeah, she's had a back injury. She's had a back problem, right? All right. Cool. Bodic will play Ben. That'd be crazy. What did you notice positive with Eala's game on clay? It did take her a little bit of time yesterday. She was getting it broken a lot. But I think, again, the main thing with the clay for her, I think, is movement. If she can figure out how to move on clay well, then that's half of it, right? Sliding on the clay, the balance and the timing of sliding on the clay. So, and she figured that out. And tomorrow, Mirra has to play her nemesis, Erica. Yeah, her sister. But yeah, I think it was just like the movement and stuff of that. I think that was one of the big things. But also patience, right? Because her game especially in Miami, was all about aggression, was all about surprise winners down the line when players weren't expecting it. Playing that aggressive game on clay, it's going to take a lot longer to try and win those points than you would on a faster hard court. So try not to overhit, right? Try not to hit a winner off the second shot and then expect it to be a winner because it's not the same surface. It's a much slower surface. So just sort of setting the points up better. That'll be something we try and watch out for this week with her. So yeah. So those are sort of the things that we're going to look for this week. But yeah, she did today well. And like I said, even though Koevermans is not the highest ranked player that she's played, in terms of a clay court player and a player to start your clay court season on, especially when Eala's clay court tennis by her professional record is not as good as it was on the hard courts, playing someone like Koevermans is great for a first match. Koevermans, I would say, prefers the clay. So playing a clay quarter on clay, even though they're not high ranked, is good. It's good for Eala, right? She knew that she probably would have won based on her form, based on her confidence. But the fact that she could, kind of try things out on the clay against Koevermans without too much pressure, I guess. It obviously going to get harder and harder when she starts playing better and better players. But yeah. Koevermans not that experienced on clay. Well, her clay court record is way better than Eala. It's like 96 wins or something. Koevermans is 21, but her clay court record is 94 wins, 56 losses. Eala's had 11 wins before today on clay. So 94 wins compared to 11 is massive. Way more experience. And that's because Koevermans would have been, instead of grinding it out on the hard courts, trying to get up the ranking, she was grinding on the clay in Europe, Yeah, playing a lot of challenges, playing a lot of, those tournaments. So yeah, you're right though. She's not like 30-year-old veteran, but still, she has a lot more wins on clay than Eala. So that was, again, a good, and I'm saying first match on clay, right? It's very unrealistic to think that, Eala was going to come out here and beat Swiatek on a clay court first match, right? She's going to build up the confidence on the clay. And this is a perfect example, someone who's good on clay, a solid clay quarter, and who would say that their favorite surface is clay, And Eala got the win over her. Obviously, the next opponent's going to maybe have a little bit more experience, so it's like, okay, And we'll see where it is. It's kind of like Draper, right? I mean, Draper last week, we had the exact same questions, right? Draper's clay court record is not the best. It's not his favorite surface. He was coming off Indian Wells, and we're thinking, okay, Draper's on fire. He's hot right now. And he lost to Fokina. And we go, okay, well, Fokina's a good clay courter. So he won his first match pretty easily, and then he went on and lost to Fokina. And we're like, okay, well, that's not a bad loss for Draper, right? Who's not a great clay courter yet. So that's what we're going to find out with Eala, right? We're going to find out what her limit of clay. Maybe she wins the whole tournament. And we go, oh shit, okay, she's going to have to play some harder opponents before we know where her clay court level is. So that's what we're doing this week. Just like we did with Draper last week. And like we were going to do with Mensik this week, but he lost. So, Mensik's another one that we're going to see where their clay court level is, because some players disappear during the clay season because it's not their surface. And they come back in August and then play on the hard courts again. Yeah. We'll probably watch the Andreeva sisters tomorrow. Possibly a day off, but Mirra can beat anyone at current level. Yeah, I mean, Mirra's on fire. Yeah, over 140 matches for Koevermans on clay. Yeah, exactly. Mirra lost badly to Erica last time they played. Yeah. It was it in Beijing or Wuhan? One of the two. Alex mentioned that she preferred the hard courts over clay. Yeah. I mean, that shows in her record. I have a lot on my plate. I have to complete Adolescence, which when life gives you tangerines in Netflix. Stuttgart is also tomorrow. Too much work for me. Fair enough. It was in Wuhan. There you go. Monitored their progression on the clay. Feast adapted so well. Yeah, exactly. Well, there's a lot of players that we're gonna keep an eye on. Because we don't know what their clay court abilities are yet, We've seen them do well on hard courts, but what are their clay court abilities? We'll learn a lot. Yep, Eala won the 4 games in a row. Conchita Martinez said in an interview that clay is about learning to slide. Yep, sliding on clay is... Movement on clay is I mean, I said this yesterday when we watched the Eala at the start. Players like Osaka and Medvedev find it very hard to slide. Because they're hardcore players, right? So if you think about it as well, when you're watching a hardcore player, and I know Djokovic is an exception, but take Djokovic and Monfils out of it. Hardcore players run to the ball and then they stop, and then they run to the ball and then they stop. But you have to take an extra couple of steps to get to the ball, right? But on a clay court, the last 2 steps you can eliminate and you can slide instead of doing 2 extra steps, right? And that's where you'll see a good clay courter will be sliding for everything, right? But there's timing in that. And we'll watch Alcaraz later and you'll see the slide, right? But it takes time to learn that, and it's not easy, especially when you're naturally running to the ball every time and stopping. It's not natural to slide. It's not natural to do that motion. So watching Osaka and watching Medvedev, who are hardcore players, watching them on clay try to do the sliding, it takes balance, it takes timing. It's not a normal thing for them to do, because usually they're running to the ball and stopping like a hard court. So again, that's something we'll watch with Eala. How she slides to the ball, how she balances. When she's doing the sliding, if she does slide, she might just run to the ball every time. But, because you got to time the slide, right? You got to slide, you got to hit the ball while you're sliding, or at least at the end of the slide, and then you got to push off to get back into position, right? So you've got to time it so that you're not sliding off the court and the person's like, oh, I'm going to just hit a winner now. Like it's all, or you don't want to slide into the ball, and it's too close to you, right? So it's a whole thing. Like, you got to time it right so that when you hit the ball, you're not moving, but also sometimes you see players slide and hit the ball at the same time. But then, yeah, it's all just like you slide and then you got to like push off with that same foot to get back into the position so you don't lose the point. So again, that's something we'll watch with Eala this week, And she Rafa Nadal Academy, she was there for a long time and she's been there. So you would think that she would have been taught a little bit of this stuff. But we'll see. We'll see how she can adapt it into a match. Movement and timing are vital in sliding. Yeah. Yeah, Rude's 2-0 in the second. Nice. Demonor's up a set and a break. Nice. Sliding probably takes less toll on the injuries than knees. I mean, it's not even really about like injury prevention or anything for sliding. It's just naturally what happens on a clay court. It's the most efficient way of playing on clay, you know? Yep, match is over. It was over in about 10 minutes, so we're just kind of hanging out because there's nothing else to do until Alcaraz plays in a couple hours. I was waiting for Alcaraz to show up in a few hours. I saw a few points between Mirra and Iga. She was winning all the points. Looks like the editor is a fan of Mirra. Fair enough. Your Stremska retired, yeah. So Penko's through. I tell you what, chat, I've been saying I want to see Penko versus Swiatek on a clay court. I want to see it, and we might get it on Easter Saturday. So we'll be having... well, actually, no, I don't know. Is it Easter Sunday that you have eggs and stuff? When do you get the eggs? Anyways, we could be getting a Swiatek Ostapenko quarterfinal if Ostapenko wins her next match and so does Swiatek, and that is going to be great. I would love, but the problem is that it's a bit faster, the clay in Stuttgart than it would be on Roland Garros, so it's maybe not the greatest. Maybe not the greatest.
Say it, go pies black circle white circle black circle white circle.
Hey, thank you, Zach, for the $2. So maybe it's not the best. Maybe it's advantage Penko. I don't know. Dasher once said Stuttgart is not very even clay. Yeah, Dasher said like a couple of years ago, right, that it was so fast compared to normal clay. By the way, Dasher's not playing this week, which is a little bit sad. Dasher, I mean, she played Charleston, so I guess she just wanted a week off. But yeah, I wish usually we're watching Dasher by now, but we'll watch Dasher next week on the clay in Madrid. Thoughts at Mensik losing first round since Miami? Yeah, I totally understand why he lost. Big difference between Miami and Munich? Was he in Munich or Barcelona? I'm not surprised. Just like last week, a lot of players last week we didn't expect to lose on their first clay court matches of the year. So clay's, again, we've got to remember this, chat, that whatever happened in the first 3 months of the year on the hard courts, forget that happened. Like, you know, it doesn't mean nothing, but it also doesn't, everything changes. Once we get to April, the clay, it's a totally different thing. Different players play better. Some players we don't hear from until we go back. So remember that, like, once we get to Monte Carlo is the turning point of the season. Whatever happened in the first 3 months of the year, only a few players will probably transition onto the clay better. But there's going to be a lot of players that we won't hear from until Wimbledon or beyond. So remember that. And then there's going to be the opposite too, right? Players that we haven't heard from all year, Casper Ruud, for example, might start to pop up and we go, oh, wow, now he's playing well. And we haven't heard from him, right? So that's what happens when we get to the clay. It's, completely different ball game. So a lot of players Madison Keys, right? Even though she did really well on clay last year, her game on clay depends on the situation. Then you're going to get players that we haven't heard from on the women's side. Maybe someone like an Ons Jabeur might pop up and start playing really well. Even though Jabeur's been okay, injury aside, somebody like, Paolini, she could maybe thrive on the clay. She hasn't been doing great compared to last year, right? And then there's going to be players that just disappear, and we won't see them till Wimbledon. So you've got to remember that, chat. So Mensik losing on clay totally makes sense because he hasn't played any clay court tennis and he's just coming off, a good hard court season, but clay is not the same. It is not the same. All right, chat. So we got 2 hours until we get to Carlos. Thoughts on my previous comment? What was your previous comment? You'll need to elaborate. I must have missed it. Clay is a different ballgame. Yeah. If Penko beats Navarro easily, then it'll be tough for Swiatek. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see her play Swiatek. Swiatek versus Penko. Winner play Andreeva. Crazy for Iga. Yeah. It's a tough draw for Swiatek. It's a really tough draw. At least I can brag to the Mensik fans that Feast is better on clay. It was in regards to Steph potentially leaving top 20. Yeah, I mean, where's Tsitsipas ranked right now? I said that didn't I say one of my predictions that he was going to fall out of the top 20? Tsitsipas is 19 in the world currently. If he doesn't win points in Barcelona, he will drop. He will lose his top 10 spot, a top 20 spot, yeah. That's what happens. He's 19 in the live rankings currently. So that's that. The volley nets match has started. Nice. Is she defending a lot of points here? Who? Eala's next opponent is probably going to be Edvardi. Probably. Tsitsipas is 16, I think. No, his live ranking is 19. Oh, Swiatek? Quarterfinal. Quarterfinal, so nothing crazy. Is there anyone outside the top 25 who you think can make the top 10 soon, other than Fonseca? Feast? No. Wait, what did you say? 25? I don't know. That's a tough question. Top 25 outside the 25. Berrettini. I think Berrettini could make it back in the top 10. Berrettini's shown enough, I think, over the last couple of weeks that Berrettini could make a top 10 recovery. And he's currently outside the top 25, so that counts. Starting to drizzle in Barcelona? No! We can't have that. God. We can't have that. 4-2 Rude, yep. We can't have rain, chat. At least in Madrid, they've got a roof. Swiatek lost to Raducanu in the... Oh, she lost in the semis. Sorry, I thought it was the quarters. Semis last year. Still, not that many points compared to a 1,000 event. All right, chat. I'm going to send you over the Alcaraz match because we're a couple of hours till he plays. And then we're going to watch Carlos try to continue his clay court dominance. But jump on over here. And you can talk amongst yourselves for the next... Whoops. For the next couple of hours, I'm going to go get something to eat because I haven't eaten anything. But nice win by Eala. She comes back. She wins 4 games in a row in about 20 minutes. Or not even. It was like 15 minutes. And she'll play in the second round maybe tomorrow. So if you are watching Eala exclusively, then hopefully we'll be back tomorrow for her. If not, we'll be back in a couple of days for a second round match to see what her clay court tennis will bring. But... Alcaraz coming up in a couple hours' time. I'll see you guys then.